What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another episode of Bloke in a Bar, brought to you by Menulog. I'll tell you what, got some local legend stores around this area, but we've got Humphreys here. How you going, mate? And first of all, what is your local legend store that you love?
Okay, so recently moved to Maroubra, a bit closer to training at South. So I've been loving Inferno Grill down at Maroubra.
Yeah, okay.
The chicken wrap, that's my go-to.
The chicken wrap, okay,
yeah,
healthy, good meal, like it. So yeah, make sure the guys support the platform, support Menulog. They support us, absolute legends. Been with us for years now, guys. And we have codes each week where we give discounts. So a massive shout out to Menulog.
Just a bloke in a bar.
And we're doing this interview in the Bloke Studios, which is powered by Lontel Internet. That's right. They've got their brand new feature, multi-gig internet. So the average speed for Australians is about 100 megabit, whereas this is 2 gigs. That's how fast it is. Like the other day, and it varies for different people, but the other day I downloaded Borderlands 4, so a 65 gig file in like 4 minutes. It was crazy. There's no lock-in contracts, there's no credit cards, and you can crank it up to the highest speeds and you only pay for what you use. So if you want to go really fast and download heaps of stuff, or you're watching a bunch of 4K, you can crank it up to the fast speeds. Then when you just want to chill or even pause it and you're not paying for anything, you can do that as well. Go to launtel.net.au, so launtel.net.au/bloke. And you get the first 7 days free and $25 credit. Yeah, so we're here with Jamie Humphreys. Mate, how you going?
I'm well. Thank you for having me.
No, thanks for coming on, bro. Thanks for coming on. We tried to tee it up a few weeks ago, but you're a man of your word. A lot of the boys, and I get it, look, I've been there. Yeah. Well, they're like, oh yeah, I'll give you a message. And then they just never message. It hurts my heart. So we appreciate that you did. Mate, off-season now. How's the body feeling?
Body's good.
Yeah.
Off-season probably came at the right time. I was hurting a bit at the back end of that season, as I'm sure a bunch of my teammates were. But no, feeling really good. Grateful for the year that I've had, and yeah, enjoying some time off.
Any recos or anything like that, or pretty sweet?
Touch wood, I'm pretty sweet.
Oh,
yeah, all good.
God.
Get a bit of training in now and set myself up for a good preseason.
Mate, you don't, as you get older, you just start to really realise like a good preseason changes everything. Like if you get left behind, and don't get me wrong, you can still make it work. Mm-hmm. But geez, you feel so much better having a full-on preseason ready to go kind of thing.
Yeah, I genuinely feel like I'm probably trying to find a bit of a balance on how I probably prepare for the preseason. I feel as though like in past years I've taken this off-season break as kind of real preparation period for the preseason, and we were just talking about before how long the season is now, and it's a really challenging period. So to optimize, I guess, your training and make sure you're hitting the ground running at the right time is really important. And it's probably something I'm still trying to find a balance of doing. Yeah.
It's funny, like sometimes I would do essentially nothing in the off season and I would have a great year because I was so mentally fresh. And then other times I'd come back red hot, like just fastest times I've ever had, all that, all that good stuff. And I'd do a hammy by the end of the preseason or something like that. Or I didn't do many soft tissues, or I'd do, something would happen. It's such a fine balance. I always say, look, as long as you just keep ticking it over, like stay flexible, keep ticking it over, that's enough. Even if it's just body weight stuff, as long as you're staying moving, I think you're usually pretty sweet.
It's, I think I'm quite similar. It's something I've always really tried to hit the ground running in preseason, especially being a younger player, trying to kind of cement myself in the NRL environment. You want to make a good impression, and I've probably been guilty of probably doing a bit too much over the past couple of years. Even coming in last year at South, it's something I think I probably overdid. I was so kind of intent on making a good first impression. I wanted to show that my teammates that I'm ready to go, but also to the coaches. And like you said, kind of midway through that preseason, I started breaking down a little bit, and it's about finding the right balance, making sure you're kind of doing the right things, but ticking it over in the right way. Yeah,
and that's what I reckon in this period of off season. If you can try to make your body as durable as possible rather than as fit as possible, and rather than explosive as possible, that'll actually set you up better for a preseason than training really hard. Now, granted, speak to your actual sports scientists, but my belief is you're actually going to get more out of laying a good foundation. So you may not be the fittest or the fastest when you get back, but your body is prepared for the stresses that's going to be put on it.
Exactly right. And even like I guess probably talking to past players and older guys and guys who've done 10, 15 preseasons, that's exactly what they say. It's not about coming in on day one and breaking records and time trials and lifting whatever in the gym. It's about setting yourself up right so that come Christmas time you're peaking, and then you have that little break, and then come February when you're going into the trials, that's when you're really peaking. And again, that's probably something like I'm looking to do this year, find a better balance, make sure I'm looking after the things that I need to look after, those little niggles I had at the back end of last year, and probably just staying on top of things like your diet and flexibility, things that you probably don't put as much time into in the season because so many other things take precedent. But even a bit of swimming, stuff like that, things like getting outside and I'm trying to get into surfing at the moment, playing a bit of golf. So even things like that, you're just keeping your body moving, but not putting it under so much stress because there's a lot of stress in the preseason.
Mate, and the preseason is designed to take you from essentially a slob to fit. So like, you know what I mean? It's not designed 100%. For everyone to come back like fit. If they were designing a preseason where everyone came back fit already, you would touch a ball within the first 2 weeks, whereas usually there is no footies within the first month. I don't know, it might have changed, but like at least when we were coming through, there was barely any footballs for like a very long time in the preseason. So
my first preseason with Des was very much like that. All we did was run and wrestle pretty much, and they were long days. You don't touch a footy until basically around Christmas time, and very similar with Wayne. I think he's kind of got that philosophy. You got to earn the right to touch the footy, and it's a long old slog. So making sure you're kind of going in at a good kind of level of fitness, but not breaking records is probably where I'm looking to be this year.
Man, some of my off seasons though, like I would be not active at all because I would just be sitting there playing video games all off season long. It was glorious. It was so glorious. But as when you're not moving, your body kind of it's not.
You start to feel it, hey. You really do.
Mate. This year, I mean, a bit of a strange year, obviously, with everything going on at South and the injuries or whatever. But for you personally, I'm assuming you'd be pretty happy with the progress that you've made. What's it been like for you?
Yeah, so if I was to kind of look back and if someone was to tell me this time last year, going into this year, that this is what your year would look like, I'd be stoked. Kind of leaving Manly at the back end of last year, coming across the South. That's exactly what I wanted to do. I wanted to play first grade. I wanted to take an opportunity to cement myself in a squad and in a team and in a club, and to be able to do that at South with the guys around me and the coaches we got there and the amazing fans at that club. It's genuinely been it's been an amazing year. It's been hard. There's been a lot of challenges, but I truly believe I've take a lot. I'll learn from that, take that experience into next year, and it'll benefit us a lot.
And what about dealing with the carnage of just like superstar after superstar going down? Like, how do you? What's it like internally? Because we talk about it, and the fans all talk about it, and it's like so dramatic. But internally, you've got to have a mixture of both. You've got to realise how serious it is, but at the same time, you can't let your heads fall off. What was it like for you guys?
I think, to be honest, we were extremely lucky to have the coach that we had with those situations. Like Wayne, he's probably the man in rugby league who's been and seen the most. And even talking to him, he's probably not seen anything like we've dealt with this year, but having his kind of calming influence and just his humour, to be honest, just to keep the mood light, to make sure that whoever puts on that jersey feels confident in doing a job for not only him but for the team. It's been a blessing, really. He's been someone who's really helped me personally. And playing halfback, there's a lot of times where you can probably get a bit of over information and there's a lot of things going on, but his message was so simple every week, and that was kind of pretty consistent across the year, regardless of who was in the team, who was out of the team. And we were really, really lucky to have Wayne this year. And again, all those hardships we kind of went through this year and those experiences in tough games will put us in really good stead for next year. I'm really excited.
And we speak about it all the time on the podcast about like your best position, and like 1 week we're going, you know what, he's a 7. The next week, you know what, I think he could be a 9. What do you prefer to play, and where do you think you'll end up long term?
Look, I've always played in the halves. Like I feel probably most naturally comfortable with the 7 on my back. It's probably just finding a balance of how I can implement my best game into the team as well. I feel like come the start of the year, which is, it's funny because we didn't really train it all together, but Cody and I kind of built a really good relationship.
Yep.
And again, probably having that inconsistency within the squad and people in and out didn't help. And I was the same. I was injured in round 5, I think, along with Cody in the same game. And I think we really struggled to probably build that connection again following that, just because we were both so in and out. Yeah. So, and anyone will tell you that plays in the halves, probably one of the biggest things that contributes to your game is your combinations, not just with your other half, but your back rowers, your centers, your fullback. It's your edge, really. And to be honest, we probably had inconsistencies within those positions across the whole year.
Yeah.
So again, building into the preseason, I think that's going to be a massive gain for us. Hopefully we can really nail down those spots, train consistently together for 3-4 months.
Yeah.
That's something we didn't have at all, really, in the preseason. Like, not at all. So just leading into round 1, like, I reckon I trained with Cody once the entire preseason.
No way.
And it was the captain's run. Like, that's kind of where we're at. Yeah.
Jesus.
So it's like, it goes to show, like, the first kind of 5-6 weeks of the season, like, there's definitely stuff to work off there. Yeah. So gives me a lot of confidence. But no, I definitely feel naturally comfortable with the 7 on my back.
Yep.
Definitely want to build and grow into that for sure.
So what was your favourite game this year, where you know, backs against the wall, all the injuries out?
Yeah.
Where did you feel the most proud, where you're like, geez, we dug in there? And what was the chat like before the game? Was it the Dragons game?
Dragons game was a big game.
Yep.
Probably for me personally. I think if I think back to that game, like, the Dragons played really well. It was a hot day down in Wollongong as well. They were playing some really good footy, and like you said, like, our backs were definitely against the wall in that game. I think we'd lost a few players in that game as well. I ended up in the middle at some stage, ended up back in the halves towards the end of it, and we just found a way to win. And, like, kind of coming into video the next week, like, Wayne was so happy and he was just so proud of the way we dug deep. And like you said, like, backs against the wall, just finding a way to win. And talking to some of the boys from who played in that 24 season, that's probably where they struggled a bit. Those tight games, they almost couldn't get across the line. So to start the year the way we did, even round 1 was very similar. Like, I'm pretty sure Dolphins actually scored more tries than us, but we just found a way to win. Yeah. And that's probably that was the story of the start of our season.
Because you went 5-0 or something, didn't you?
Yeah, I think we were 5-6. But to be honest, like, we were probably not the better team in almost any of those games. We just found a way to do it. Literally. And, like, that's kind of where Wayne was at with us. He was like, boys, like, we just don't have the cattle in the team right now to be able to put scores on or dominate games, but stick to what you're doing and you'll get results. And it was working for us. It really was.
What was your personal favourite where you're like, that was sick? That was sick.
You know what? It's funny. It's probably the Dragons game at the end of the season. I think it's probably the only game that I've played in the NRL where I was like, come the 60-minute mark, I was like, we've actually won this game.
Yeah.
Every other game, it's been a tough slog. It's been we're in it, like, either team could win this going into the final 10 minutes of the game.
Yep.
So to have that game where I was like, and it's the first time I've probably been able to actually slow down, look around, enjoy what's happening around me. That feeling where you just got a smile on your face playing footy.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, the Dragons game earlier in the year was pretty cool. Like, talk about moments. That was a moment for me I'll never forget.
Yeah. So. I mean, what's with you and the hating of the Dragons? Jesus, far out. But what did Bennett say to you after the first Dragons game, and what did he say after the second Dragons game?
Oh, Wayne's messages is pretty consistent. Yeah. Regardless. Actually, after the second Dragons game, he come to me and said, like, I know you won't, but don't get a big head about this. Like, I know there might be some stuff in the media about you, or some people, reporters, whatever, want to write some stories, but he's like, they'll be the first to praise you when you're doing well, but at the same time, they'll be the first to bag you when you're not. So, look, be indifferent to it, accept it. If people send you stuff or whatever, just block it out, because you got to go again next week. And that's exactly right. His message is the same regardless. And even after kind of later in the year, it was actually, that was a bit different. He was just, I think he was really happy. We'd gone through a pretty tough run.
So that was early in the year that he said that to you?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So then towards the back end, I think it was, a bit different, almost a bit of relief as well. I feel like he could feel that feeling amongst the group that we'd been through a couple tough games, and to kind of reverse that and be on top and pretty dominant was, he's pretty relieved.
No, it's been about 18 years since Wayne was my coach, and he sent the media manager to have a similar conversation with me after my debut. Walked out, so I had this debut, played relatively well, and the media manager walked out, and I love Trad. I know what he was trying to help me.
Yeah.
He walked out on the field and was like, just so you know, you won't be playing first grade next week.
What?
And I was like, at the time, I'm like, oh, okay. And what's weird is I ended up playing first grade the next week. And on top of that, so in this game, and if I don't tell you what the stats are, people are going to be like, oh, you just thought you played well, but you didn't really play that well. But in this game, and I didn't know this 2 years after, I ran for the most meters in the modern era for a debutant. So I was like 277 or whatever. I scored like a 75-meter try. It went really well. Bro, I didn't even get. We used to do a 3-2-1 from everyone would give their man of the match, 3-2-1.
Yeah.
I didn't even get one, bro. I didn't even get one on debut. So I reckon Wayne stitched it up. I reckon he got the votes back.
Do you reckon that was actually?
I reckon 100%, bro. A debutant, even if you play just solidly, you're going to get a point.
Yeah.
I didn't get any points. I was like, as if, bro. I was like, as if. So walk us through the Dragons.
That's what he's like.
Mate, play all those games. But it's always coming from a good spot.
Exactly. He's trying to look up. He's trying to look after you. He's trying to kind of shield you from that pressure. And I think that was really good for me, especially kind of. It comes with the territory of playing in the 7, but especially for a club like South, it's such a big club, so many fans. So he was doing kind of everything he could to protect you from that, and really grateful for that. He's been really good.
So walk us through the winning field goal. This would have been your round 2, so your second game for South, your third NRL game.
Yeah.
Walk us through that play. What are you thinking? What's happening? What's going on?
Well, it's just a really tight game. I think. I remember Dragons actually went ahead, and we had to kind of fight our way back in, and Cody was playing really well. He actually scored a try, I think, to level us up. Oh no, to level us up, and we'll kind of, I think it might have been 5 or 6 minutes left, and we're just kind of going set for set still. I knew I was thinking it. We just probably weren't putting ourselves in the right position to do it. We're still pretty far out, and we ended up taking a short side on tackle 4, ended up right out by the wing, and I was like, oh, well, I'll just kick to a corner, reset, we'll go again. This isn't the right time. And all of a sudden we threw, I think, a terrible pass from hooker, ended up on the ground. Someone threw it over my head and then ended up in my hands. But the way that play worked out actually really helped me because there was no pressure. The line speed had kind of stopped. They were like, okay, we'll just hold a line. We don't want anything silly happening. So I actually had heaps of time and heaps of, no pressure on me at all. So I was in a good position. I was like 38 in front. I was just like, I'm just going to give this a crack. I knew that's what the team needed at the time. And I felt as though we could defend the lead if we got ahead. So just didn't really think too much of it. Just naturally, just instincts took over. I hit it, and luckily for me, it went over, and then we defended the win. So
far out. And what was that
cool
feeling
moment.
like when it goes over? What's that feeling like? Something you dream of as a kid, really.
Yeah, it was. But at the same time, there was still more than enough time for them to get one as well. Yep. So I was like, I just got next job, trying to get back to it. I was stoked inside. But I knew we had to finish the game off first, then I could enjoy it. So it was cool, especially for, I think, Wayne having coached the Dragons, been down there in Wollongong for a long time. It was cool for him to get that win down there. So, and it was big for us. Like, it was really big. Yeah. We wanted to keep the momentum going. We had a good win in round 1, so to keep that going, round 2, tick it off. Down there in Wollongong is a tough place to play. So to have that, and for me personally, like, a special moment, and definitely one of the highlights of this year for me.
And so when you arrived at South and throughout the year, who's someone that just impressed you? Like, you're just like, this bloke. That's the reason. That's why he's a superstar.
Jai Gray, to be honest.
Gray, okay.
Like, even from the preseason, like watching him, you can see, like, there's not much of him, but he was in every session, probably didn't miss a single one. Every wrestle session, just like tough as. I remember thinking, like, we're in good hands here. Like, obviously it was devastating to lose Latrell and the players that we have, but knowing guys were there ready to step up was just like, didn't lose any sleep over it. And same with Lockie Hubner stepping up when Cam went down. It's the exact same thing. He'd worked that hard in the preseason, well and truly earned his jersey there and didn't let anyone down once he got it. So I could talk about so many of the boys, but when you asked the question straight away, I just thought of Jai. I feel like the year he's had, he was winning the Dally M's for
crazy,
for like the most part of the start of the year. So I have to give him a massive rap. He's someone I love playing footy with.
And what's it like, being on the field with guys like Cody Walker and Latrell Mitchell, and just that extra time they have, that extra space, it's just another level. What's it like?
Cody is like, I've never seen a ball player like him.
Yeah.
I remember I said we didn't train together basically at all. The first session we did, I just remember thinking, all right, just got to get Cody the ball in good position. He would have dead set had 10 try assists in that opposed session. It was ridiculous. I'm thinking, fuck, how good's this? Oh, sorry.
No, you can swear.
Honestly, every 3-on-2, he nails it.
Yeah.
And then we got AJ coming back. And when AJ comes back, their combination is insane. AJ is one of the best finishers in the game, obviously. And Cody just hits him with the right pass almost every time.
Yeah.
You talk about time and stuff like that, and that's exactly what Latrell has. To have the vision he has, but to be able to execute when he does in those big moments as well, mate.
Every time,
it's pretty cool to be out there with him. And it makes my job so much easier. I'm just
getting the ball,
Yeah, and then I guess that's the next probably progression for me is understanding giving them the ball and the time and space, whatever opens up space for me, and then being able to utilize the guys around me to create more for them. So, but no, it's. Those guys especially it's a pleasure to play with them.
Well, I think before 2023, if you went back 5 years, Cody Walker's attacking stats were astronomical compared to any other attacking player. He was top 10 for tries, number 1 for try, just crazy. I mean,
outrageous.
They might be on the internet somewhere. I know I've posted them before, but seriously, he doesn't get enough credit for how good his attack is.
For us at South, he's a leader in that team, especially on the field. He's I was playing 7, but at the same time, he was doing just as much talking as me.
Yeah.
And the way the way he can execute a play, even when it goes completely wrong, that's when his best footy comes out.
Yeah.
Where we might have a play, we might set up for this all week. All of a sudden, the defense does something completely different. Where we're expecting them to fan out and map off, and they start jamming. All of a sudden, he's thrown a 3-man cutout pass, hit AJ on the chest, and we're celebrating a try in the corner. So yeah, it's pretty amazing, and it's pretty cool. To be able to learn from him. It's hard. A lot of what he does is completely just natural. You can't teach it, but at the same time, just taking those mental notes of what he does, how he squares up his body, that kind of thing. And he's so willing to help.
Yeah.
Young guys like me, Ashton Ward, guys like that who have come in at South, Jai Gray's the same. He's just as much a coach as he is a player, to be honest, out there at training. It's pretty cool.
Man, just crazy. Seriously, Kate, is there any banter between Trell, Cody to Alex Johnston? Mate, I gave you all those tries, bro. Is there any banter there or what? Surely something.
Always, always. AJ's one of the best blokes ever. He's so selfless as well, and to be able to get him back in the team this year, it was such a big boost for us. Even defensively, it's probably underrated, but his defensive positioning is just how many intercepts has he scored because he's in the right space. Everyone talks about him just finishing off tries in the corner, but mate, he puts himself in that position better than most wingers I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's just incredible.
It's it's a credit to him, and he worked so hard to get back from that Achilles injury. A lot of people probably discredited him, didn't think he'd work his way back in, but mate, he's well and truly a staple in our side, and we are a much better team with him in it.
So I guess this year, what do you reckon you improved the most, and what do you reckon you need to work on the most?
Yeah, I think just playing in the NRL week to week, it's such obviously it's an extremely physical game, but mentally, and in my position, it's probably more so than any other position, the mental side of it, preparing each week, make sure I'm being diligent with my preparation and the homework I'm doing on other sides, and being able to implement a game plan from the coaches is something I feel like I've really improved on from the start of the year. In saying that, I feel like there's still a long way to go with that. And there's so many things I could pinpoint within my game that I want to improve on. But just understanding what the team needs at the right time is probably something, again, I'll look to improve on. And that's building with those combinations as well. Yeah. Understanding the guys around me, hopefully building that connection with the same people would be hugely beneficial.
Yeah.
And understanding the way we want to play as a team, regardless of who's in it. It's a continued evolution for us as a squad. And understanding what Wayne wants as well. he's come back. This has been his first year back. There's definitely evolutions we want to get to as a club and as a team. And me personally, that's a big part of where I want to get to, making sure I'm in a position where I can do all of those things and continue to bring out my game, probably my running game as well. If I think something, it's not so much an improvement, but more something I just want to do more often.
It's a hard balance, because
it really is.
The main goal is to get Cody Walker the ball.
Yeah.
But you also want to get to a point where you're impacting games 100%. As well, taking a bit of pressure off him,
And it's funny, like you talk to coaches, they always talk about do the things that got you to where you are now. And for me, if I think about that, that's always been my running game.
Yep.
As a junior in the Manly system, that's probably was one of the things that got me to where I wanted to get to, was my running game, and everything on top of that is just a bonus really for me. So definitely want to continue to work on that and build that into my game more often.
Mate, you're a third generation rugby league player. So Stephen Humphreys, Kevin Humphreys, and they both played for the Balmain Tigers.
Yes.
I mean, did you know that growing up that was like a big deal, or not really? Is that they were just,
Well, I was just always around footy, always as a kid. Like Dad was, he worked for the West Tigers. He played for Balmain, and as did my pop, and he was also in kind of the administration in the rugby league back in the day. And it's funny now, like actually talking to a lot of past players here at South and at Manly, and even Wayne, the first thing Wayne said to me was he knew my granddad back in the day. So
oh, no way. That's crazy, bro.
So to have that kind of connection it's pretty cool. It really is. I feel extremely proud to represent my family, do what they did as well. I know my grandma, she loves it. So, and my mum as well. So they're massive supporters of what I'm doing, and hopefully I can be an inspiration to my little brothers as well. They all play footy. So, me and my older brother, we always had a footy in our hands from when we were young. I used to ball boy at the Tigers back when Benji and Robbie and
no way,
all the boys were killing it over there. So, I grew up a Tigers fan for sure. And, feel extremely privileged to be doing what I'm doing now.
Any memories of watching, the old man, grandfather playing footy at all?
No, I mean they played footy before my time. Yeah, so to be my memories when I was young of footy were mostly at the Tigers. To be honest, Dad worked for the club, so we'd always be in and around it, like always in the sheds, probably annoying all the players. Remember, used to warm up with Benji in the sheds. He'd always do like this passing warm up in the sheds with me and my older brother, and I just remember thinking, like, don't drop the ball. Just don't drop the ball. Just get it back to him every time. I was like 8 years old at the time. Every pass was like stinging my hands. But yeah, we used to, it was
like it would have meant the world to you.
Honestly, Benji, like if I look back, I played centre growing up. So Chris Lawrence in that Tiger side, he was my idol. Like, my favourite player of all time. I loved watching him
One of
play.
the world's best blokes too.
Yeah, but Benji, oh my God, like, I love Benji. Robbie as well, all of them.
Bro, if you weren't around during Benji Mania, you can't describe it's like Benji, Sonny Bill, Sean Johnson, Ponga, Reece Walsh, like that kind of level of stardom. Now, Sonny Bill obviously went a bit bigger because obviously he became an international star, but like having a kid now, having two sons, like I can't wait for them to experience something similar where it's like means the world to them. Like, oh my God, this is, I can't believe that I met this person or that person. Because I remember when I was younger, it happened to me when I was meeting like sprinters or whatever.
It's the coolest thing ever, hey?
Yeah.
And like, if you think now about like probably the impact Benji's had, if the amount of people kind of older than me and probably 3 or 4 years younger than me, if you ask them who their inspiration was, I reckon 8 out of 10 are saying Benji Marshall.
Mate, he was a star, like a star. I reckon I've got players that are greater than him, but I reckon his impact on rugby league is one of the biggest, just because before, like we had guys with good steps for sure, but there was always this undercurrent of touch footy players don't really go well in league, at least where I was from on the Gold Coast. That was the big question around Benji, was like crazy touch footy player, but it doesn't transfer to league because you have less time, all that kind of stuff. And then he came on the scene, and like, as I said, we always had good steppers, but I don't think we ever had like steppers that are intentionally trying to misdirect you.
Manipulate a defense in a certain way.
Yeah, whereas like a Freddie Fittler step he's just beaten you because he's too explosive off that foot and you're already committed to a certain side. He's not necessarily creating an illusion of where he's going kind of thing.
Yeah,
whereas
I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, whereas
100%.
Benji intentionally is trying to make you go the wrong way kind of thing.
Talk about like impact. Like everyone growing up, I grew up in the Shire, but everyone that I ever knew, whenever we played backyard footy, everyone's replicating Benji. Flick passes, chip and chase, like trying to do the step, everything like that. It was like, so his impact is, it's so cool to see. And like, to see what he's doing now at the Tigers, it's pretty cool.
You know what gets lost in the noise of the early 2000s? Carmichael Hunt used to have a mad step, and then he just started running it straight from the from the post, and it got to the point where Wayne Bennett was like, "Listen, you're not going to have a long career if you keep running like that."
Yeah.
But Carmichael's step used to be gun, absolutely gun.
Freak.
He's one of those guys. If he stayed playing NRL, like there was a period there where he was ahead of Billy Slater for the fullback jersey.
Yeah.
Now I don't know whether he would have kept it or not, but like that's how good he was. Carmichael was gun, absolute gun. So growing up, so you just always around footy, like whenever your older brother was playing or when your father was down there, you were on the grass kicking the ball around for the whole afternoon. Yeah,
we used to pester my dad non-stop. Any chance they trained at Concord at the time, so any school holidays we could get, all my mates would come in the car with us. We'd just spend the whole day there. Like the boys
literally kicking the ball all day long.
Like I remember I'd just have a footy in my hands non-stop. Yeah. Probably annoyed the crap out of all of them. And I remember the old kit man there, his name was Vince. We'd just pester him, steal the Gatorades and everything like that. So no, honestly, all the memories I have from when I was young, and all my mates were the exact same. We just always had a footy in our hands. And I guess that's what you get growing up in an area like that, like in the Shire. That's all everyone does. You surf, you play footy, you play your sport, you go to school. That's what it is. And it's probably the best childhood I could have had. Like I look back with just so many memories of like playing sport, being with my mates, and it puts you, like, it sets you up. It really does. Like having lived in the UK, it's completely different. It's not like that at all. So I feel extremely lucky to have kind of grown up where I grew up, and having had the kind of experience playing sport that I did as a kid.
This episode of the podcast is brought to you by Grumpy Coffee, guys. We've got the Very Grumpy blend. We've got the Everyday blend. We've got an 85 cup rating, which is for a blend. That's really, really good, guys. We've got pods, we've got ground, we've got whole bean, we've got it all. Go to grumpycoffee.com.au. You order it. Should get to your house in 24 to 48 hours. We've also got subscription as well, so you don't ever have to think about it again. Grumpycoffee.com.au. And so what was the catalyst that made you go to England?
Yeah, so my old man, he worked for British Airways. So
no way.
He took up a job there. He worked there previously when I was young. But again, I don't remember living there at that time. So he got a job there in 2014. And I come from a large family. I'm one of 8 kids. So
what?
Yeah,
8 kids. How many girls? How many boys?
It's 5 boys and 3 girls. So I got 4 brothers and 3 sisters.
No way.
So it was a massive move to kind of uproot the family at that stage and travel halfway across the world.
Wow.
And I remember thinking at the time, and my older brother probably thinks the same, he's a year older than me, we couldn't think of anything worse than leaving where we were to go to London at the time, where we didn't know much about anything.
Must have been a good gig, far out.
Yeah, no, he's always been kind of in that world. So he's been in footy and he's been in kind of aviation. So he moved the family over there, and honestly, I think back, it's the best thing that ever happened to us. It was so not many people get to kind of experience a different culture like that, and to have, I guess, friends and family over there now for life, and equally so here. It's pretty special. So we moved over there in 2014 when I would have been 10 or 11 years old, and just about to start. I just started high school.
Yeah,
I remember thinking, this is like, timing wise, it couldn't have been any worse for me at that time. Yep. But I learned to love it over there. And
how long were you there for? 6 years?
6 years. Yep. So I did all of my secondary school there.
Yep.
I moved back to Australia in 2020. So 6 years over there.
Wow. So, you're third generation footy player. Like, I guess not worried, but you're not in the best systems over there. You know what I mean?
For sure. Yeah.
What was that kind of push and pull of that? Because you were with the London Broncos at the time?
Yeah, I remember before we left, I'd played for De La Salle my whole kind of like junior footy career, whatever, from under 8s to 12s at the time before I left. and we had the best team ever. Like we won pretty much every game we played, and I just remember thinking like, this is the best. I'm so nervous about not kind of experiencing this when I go over there, which was like, it was way bigger in my head than what it actually was like. Yeah. So I remember going over there, like me and my brother started school as soon as we landed. Pretty much we were at school the next day, and the culture shock was pretty crazy to go to school. But that day the school had like rugby tryouts, so we're in the rugby team straight away. Ended up playing soccer for the school as well. So I was surrounded by sport from the start. Rugby league specifically was a bit harder to find. Yeah, it's especially in the south of England, especially in London. It's quite niche. But we found a local club, the Elmbridge Eagles, they're called, and we well and truly found a home there. They looked after us, and then from there I got picked up by the London Broncos and entered their system, which was honestly like super professional.
Yeah, wow, okay.
Like it would equal kind of any SG ball jersey flag kind of set up here. So I honestly didn't miss much, to be honest. So
wow,
super lucky.
Were they in Super League at that stage?
They were not. They were in the championship when I first started. But I started in, like I said, the under 16s. So they call it like a scholarship program over there. So you're still in school, you go and train 3 nights a week, and then it's basically similar to Harold Matts. You play like a 10-week competition, and pretty much all our games were up north. So we'd jump on the bus, we'd go up to Wigan, go up to Leeds. And once you progress kind of through that, you enter the under 19s competition. Again, similar to SG Ball. A bit more full on, but this competition you play the whole year. So you follow the first grade squads games. So you play before them. Yep. So very similar to the, I guess, under 20s competition here, which was really cool. Kind of trained alongside them at that stage, and that's when training kind of becomes a bit more full on. Yep. So I did that for 2 years.
At what point did you start thinking, you know, I'm okay at this, like I'll be able to give this a crack kind of thing?
Yeah. To be honest, I was at a bit of a crossroads when I was over there. I was playing soccer for the school, and I love that. Yeah. I played it when I was a kid, and I got back into it over there, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. And there was actually a stage there where I thought I was going to pursue that.
Oh, really? Wow.
And
what position were you?
I was a left winger.
Left winger, okay.
Yeah. And at the same time, I was playing rugby for the school, and rugby over there is quite a big thing. Yep. And kind of had people from premiership rugby clubs over there reach out and want to kind of get involved in their junior system. So I had a bit of a choice to make. I was like, I'm really enjoying playing soccer. I love playing rugby at school, not so much for club, but for school. And I was playing kind of rugby league at the same time in the London Broncos scholarship thing. And as you know, at that age, you have to commit to one. You don't have enough time for all of them. So I knew I wanted to come back to Australia.
Okay. And
I knew I wanted to play rugby league. So as much fun as I was having doing the other two, it was a pretty easy decision for me to commit to footy and to rugby league. And again, having done that, it opened the door to eventually come back to Australia, which is what I always wanted to do.
So the decision to come back, how did that come about? Do you remember the conversation? What was it like?
Yeah, again, so I was a bit older, maybe 2-3 years older at this point now, having committed to playing rugby league. And I probably entered a similar stage. I was at a crossroads again. I was finishing high school over in the UK. At that stage, everyone's kind of looking to go to university and whatever. I, at this stage, had the opportunity to go full-time with the London Broncos, like in their first grade squad, who were in Super League at the time. And Dad was actually going back to Manly. So he'd gotten a job at the Sea Eagles. And he's like, look, I'm not gonna make the decision for you. This is up to you. I know there's certain things you want to consider and do or whatever, but I knew in my heart I wanted to come back straight away. Yeah. So I said to Dad, I was like, look, if I come back, like, what are the steps? What am I gonna have to do? He's like, oh, we can probably get you a trial at Manly, see how you go. It's all on you, pretty much. Yeah. I was like, you know what? Like, it's an easy decision. I want to do it. Yeah. So ended up moving back to Australia in 2020 and literally jumped off the plane, had training session the next day with the SG Ball squad, and we had a trial the next day against Newcastle.
Oh, no way.
Literally didn't know a single person in my team's name. I was playing halfback and I knew no one. We played at the Academy of Sport down there at Narrabeen.
How'd you go with the standard of footy? Was it like just totally different?
So different. Yeah. Like completely different. The speed was insane compared to what I'd been playing at, and even just the structure of the game was completely different. Like the terminology, the coaching, everything was so different.
Yeah.
But you know what? It worked in my favor that having not trained with them or anything like that. Just played the trial because it just like you just play footy.
Yeah.
And from there, I think I must have played all right.
How many people at the trial? Like 40 or 50? That's a big.
Yeah, like full like junior rep trial. So
No way.
yeah, I was definitely out of my depth, but at the same time, it probably helped me. I was just like, just play footy. I didn't know anyone, so I probably just ended up running all the time, which was good for me.
The centre outside, you's like, okay, I'm not getting selected. I never got the ball.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, so that actually worked out really well. Got put in the SG ball squad and was starting 7 in round 1.
Yeah,
played 2 games and then everything got canned for COVID. So
far
my
out.
head was falling off at that stage. That's for sure.
That's why there's a generation. Well, not a generation. Sounds dramatic, but there's like a block of like people that are like your age, are currently 23. 21 to 23.
Yeah.
That essentially just missed 2 years. Like you would have debuted probably 2 years ago, but
Literally,
because of COVID.
Even I reckon I'd say 2 years older than me as well.
Yeah.
They were probably Jersey Flag kind of fringe New South Wales Cup. Those guys probably got hit even harder. But I'd moved to the Northern Beaches. I'd never been there before because I obviously grew up in the Shire. So I didn't know anyone. I didn't have school because COVID shut down everything, and I didn't have footy. So I was extremely just bored all the time. But you know what? Talking about like the differences in footy and whatever, that gave me time to then train.
Yep.
It gave me time to reacclimatise myself. And again, like talk about fate, luck, whatever it was the best thing for me because it allowed me to kind of get into a condition that when footy started back up again, I hit the ground running.
Yeah, okay.
And put me in such good stead. Like we actually all ended up playing in the local comp on the Northern Beaches and it pretty much turned into an SG ball team.
Oh, really? Wow.
So all the boys in Manly played in the Manly local comp. We played boys like around here, played for the Roosters, Tigers, all that. So the local competition was basically a junior rep comp.
Far out.
We ended up playing Paddington in a grand final, and Tallis Duncan and Ronald Volkman all played for them, and Kyle Weeks played for our team with me, and it was stacked. It was so cool. But then from there, played the next year SG ball because they increased the ages so we could all go again.
Yep.
And we had the most stacked SG ball side. I still don't know how we didn't win it, but we lost in the semi to Canberra, who went on to win it. But yeah,
Who was in the Canberra side?
Xavier Savage was in it. I'm trying to think. Canberra they had a really, really solid squad, but not as many of them kind of went on
to play first grade.
But if I think back to our Manly SG ball side, we had myself, Kaio, Tolu, Gordy played hooker, Gordy Chenkantong played hooker. It was Christian Mapalangi played as well.
Yeah.
So quite a few of us have actually gone on to play. Now I think like some of the stuff the boys are doing now with Kaio and Tolu just won Manly Player of the Year. It's it's pretty cool to see.
Yeah, absolutely.
I still can't believe we didn't win it though. So, but yeah, we played that year. And
did you miss England at all, or were you loving the lifestyle?
Honestly, I felt so at home as soon as I come back.
Okay, yeah.
Like I missed the beach that much.
Yep.
Back on
warm
the beaches.
weather, just cruising around, thongs and that.
Literally, it was. And I hadn't been back to Australia in the whole time I lived over there. So it was honestly a bit of a shock to my system getting back into it.
Yeah.
I just remember, like, if I think of footy-wise, just the speed of the game here and the skill difference between players, just because you just grow up with footy in your hands. That's the biggest thing I noticed.
Like part of our culture.
Literally, it is, yeah. So that's what I noticed about coming back. And
it's funny, it's actually it's not really a regret because I didn't have any control over it. But like, I always wonder what would have I been like at league if I had a footy ball in my hand from a young age. Like, what position would have I played? Like, there's so many different things that you pick up. Like, the hours that you spent kicking the ball around with your mates, you're picking up all of these like second nature, like motor skills that all the training in the world couldn't pick up because you're not going to sit out there for 6 hours doing it. Funnily enough, like I still feel more comfortable with a soccer ball at my feet than I do with a footy ball in my hand. Yeah. Only because growing up from 5 years old to 17 years old, that's all I did. All I did. And it's all those little motor skills that you get.
I was literally the same. So my dad always pushed to me, you're playing soccer before you play footy. I want you to learn how to kick before you learn how to pass. Yeah, okay. So me and my brother, we played soccer probably the first 3-4 years. Yep. I didn't play footy till I was 9. Yeah, okay. Even though I was playing in the backyard every day. I wasn't allowed to play. But it actually was the best thing for me. So when I did play, I'd actually developed all these skills from playing soccer.
Yep.
It's funny, I went away from soccer, and when I came back to it, I picked it up so much quicker just because I'd done it as a kid.
Yeah.
There's still part of me that, like, I love soccer so much, like, big fan of it as well. Like, there's part of me that's like, oh, imagine what would have happened.
Yeah,
but I'm living my dream right now. So I'm super stoked.
My brother went over there. He got offered a contract from Norwich.
Wow. Yeah. Cool.
But he was homesick at the time because over there by himself.
Yeah.
And then he ended up fracturing his lower, like he stress fracture in his back. Wow. So he come home. But yeah, he was a gun. He was so fucking good.
Yeah.
Okay, so the second year in SG Ball.
Yeah.
When did they start talking about come train with first grade?
Yeah. So straight after that SG Ball season, there's like, I guess the guys who they want to see progress or whatever go straight into the Jersey Flag. So Tolu, Kaio, myself, and a few others, we all kind of played the next 2 weeks as soon as the ball season finished into the flag, and then progressed into New South Wales Cup at the back end of that year as well. So it was during that whole time I was talking about training next year. So during that time, this was 2021 going into 2022, signed a 2-year development deal with Manly. So I'd go full time the next year, which was really cool. There was no guarantees coming back, and was pretty nervous about the whole thing, and to have been able to have had a good year and kind of establish myself in the club, which was where I was now living, was really cool. So to get that deal and to be exposed to the full-time training for the first time was a massive step, and that's all every kid in that level is chasing. You want to get NRL experience in the training environment first.
Were you fortunate enough to make any of the rep sides at all, or?
I was. They cancelled it when it was in COVID.
Bloody COVID, yeah.
So they didn't have the New South Wales or whatever for 2 or 3 years. I'm pretty sure.
Far out.
So none of us actually. Well, and I come too late to do it for the 16s.
Yeah,
so
okay.
I actually didn't. I didn't play in any of those squads. So
do you remember? You got the contract or whatever, and you're going into your first session with the big dogs. Do you remember? It might not be your exact first session, but just an early session where you were just like, "Wow, this is first grade."
So I'd actually done a few sessions coming out of like SG Board that year. I guess they needed numbers as they do, and I remember I rocked up so nervous, like genuinely feels like first day of school.
Yeah.
And first thing, I parked my car, and like Des knocked on my window. I just put down the window. He's like, "Mate, you're late." I was like, I wasn't late. I was early by like an hour, but he was just messing with me. And my heart just dropped.
Oh, God.
He's just like, "No, I'm just fucking with you." Anyway, he like calls me in. He's like, "Do a bit of video." He's like, "This is what I want you to do today. I need you to replicate." I think we were playing, I can't remember who we were playing. Might have been Bulldogs. Anyway, I was replicating whoever the half was. Might have been Lachlan Lewis. I can't remember. Yeah. He's like, "So these are the sets, these are the plays I want you to do." And we went through the video once. He's like, "You got all of it?" I knew nothing. I was like, "Yeah, sweet, yeah." We get out there. He's like, "All right, I want you to do like this play and this play." And I was like, I'm trying to tell these first grade boys what to do.
No way.
I just remember Des was just so intense.
Yeah.
Like, I probably trained all right, but in my head, I'm like, "No, I'm ruining this. This is my one shot."
No way.
But yeah, I just remember trying to like order like Toff Sipley around and all these boys who have played like 100 NRL games.
Yeah.
But they're just, the boys are the best. Yeah. Like, they look after all the young fellas, especially there at me.
They've all been there too.
Yeah.
They've all been there.
But Des, he did not care. He was so intense.
Really? Wow.
Whether it was your first session or your daily Jerry Evans, he treats you the same.
Yeah, okay. So, okay, so when did you start getting the feeling it was working out for you? Like, as in, I might get a debut here, or I'm working up the pecking order?
Honestly, my first season. So coming into that pre-season, I'd done a few sessions with the boys throughout COVID as well. All the guys who were in the NRL squad but weren't really on the edge of playing. We stayed in Sydney when all the boys went up to Queensland. So we stayed in Sydney and we trained a fair bit. So I was quite familiar with all the boys and everything now going into my first pre-season. And I hit the ground running, trained really hard, kind of performed well in the fitness stuff, which kind of, I guess, put you in the coach's eye a little bit, that kind of thing. So I felt really, really, really confident going into that year, started the year in Jersey Flag. We had a good side, we were playing well. and played a bit of cup as well throughout that year, which was Des was constantly talking to me. He's like, I need to test you against men. This is your next progression. And I did that, and Des was amazing. He'd come to every cup game. He'd come in the sheds and he'd talk to me like at halftime. He's like, I think you're doing this well. I need you to do this better. After the games, he'd call me into his office and he'd review all the cup footage and everything.
That's
like
awesome. That is
so he was like,
that's actually pretty rare.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I didn't know at the time.
Yeah.
But that is like, yeah.
Doing that with a resi, like a young resi, that's
his
very
level
rare.
of like attention and care for that. So I kind of at that stage, I was thinking like I'm playing good footy, like it might come soon. Unfortunately, kind of towards the back end of that year, you'll probably remember Manly had all the
jerseys and that,
the jersey dramas. And that week, literally the game before that, I played cup and I did my MCL in my knee. And I remember getting scans and like Des coming down and he's like checking on the scan, see how bad it was because he wanted me to play the next week.
No
and
way.
I was like, I was so shattered, but yeah, it obviously wasn't meant to be at the time. So that was 22.
So did you know before?
I knew it was gone.
No, but as in like, did you know you were going to play the next week before you did the MCL?
No.
He told you after it?
Yeah. Well, he didn't specifically tell me, but
there was a feeling. Yeah, okay,
100%.
Okay,
he was
fair
like,
enough.
if he told me that, I would have been devastated.
Yeah,
I knew,
okay.
but then that week, especially at Manly, was crazy. I'll never forget that. It was like, I remember at one stage, one of the assistant coaches was like going around the boys in the gym, like all the junior boys as well, checking who's actually available to play. Because like anyone could have played that week.
Wow.
And I think we ended up.
Oh, okay. So yeah, because I forgot about that. So you would have been definitely in because wow.
I think they ended up debuting 4 or 5 boys.
Yep.
They ended up debuting 2 guys from Blacktown who had played 1 or 2 games of cup.
Yep.
So I was like,
wow,
that's how crazy it got.
Yeah.
So to miss out on that was like, I was so disappointed, but at the same time was like, it was the back end of the year, so that injury kind of put me out for the rest of the year. So I kind of knew, all right, all I got to do is just get ready for the next preseason.
Yep.
Which is kind of what I did.
But also, Des gets sacked though.
Des gets sacked.
Yeah.
So, and I actually, you know how you do your end of year meetings and whatever.
Yeah.
I'd spoken with Des and was super positive. It's like looking really good for next year. Like talking about round 1, all this stuff. I'm like, how good's this? Like I just got to nail the preseason.
Yeah.
All of a sudden he's gone. We got Seabold coming in. So again, it's funny. Like you think about like opportunities and whatnot. It gives you that motivation. Be like, all right, I can prove myself to a new coach.
Yep.
And that's kind of the exact motivation or the mindset I took into that preseason, which again went really well. Was about to we're going into trials actually, and I was starting halfback in the first trial, which was really cool.
Was that against Rabbitohs? You played really well?
Yeah, it was against Rabbitohs, but this was the year before that actually.
Oh, the year before it, okay.
And I, the captain's run of that session, I broke my jaw.
Oh my God, bro. What the hell?
Literally in the captain's run of the session. And again, I knew straight away. It was like, I was tackling Taniela Paseka.
Oh my God.
Probably the worst guy you want to be tackling.
Yeah.
And we just got it wrong. Just got the contact wrong and ended up cracking my jaw in 2 places, which was devastating because at the time I probably again had my best preseason and was feeling really good about where I was at. Hopefully I probably wouldn't have been in the squad, but like pushing early on in the season. But yeah, that put me out for like 8 to 10 weeks at the start of the year. Had to work my way back through flag and then through cup. So yeah, that was really hard for me. I felt like I'd kind of put myself in a really good position. But that's footy.
So close twice kind of thing.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Okay, so the next season though, you have another great preseason.
Yeah.
And this is when you guys played the Rabbitohs.
Yes.
Ben Travojevic scored 2 tries, I think.
Yes. Yeah.
And so I'm sure you're sitting there going, I might be, there or thereabouts kind of thing. What happened there?
By this point, I'd actually had the conversation with Siebes and he had spoken to me basically telling me he wanted me to play hooker. Okay. And by this stage, I'd pretty much only ever played half. I'd done a little bit of hooker here and there.
And did the whole preseason as a half?
I did the whole preseason as hooker.
Okay.
So Siebes come to me kind of at the end of the previous year. He's like, mate, this is what I want from you. Like, basically, how do you feel about it? I was like, you know what? Like, I can see an opportunity there to play NRL. I'm going to give this a red hot crack. It's not what I wanted to do, but it's something I was like, you know what? I'm going to give this as best a shot as I can. Felt like I had a really good preseason.
What?
Pre-season in the.
Did you trial at 7 though?
The first trial I played hooker.
Okay.
I ended up finishing the game at 7, and the next trial I ended up playing 7. So it was confusing, but at the same time it was good for me to kind of get exposure in both positions. I guess that's kind of how I looked at it. I was like,
Bro,
I can fill in at 14. I can, I was just trying to.
I mean, it's good. It's
like
a good
that.
way to look at it. Silver lining, but like outside looking in, like, this is not your opinion. Just like you're in your formative years. You're so young. You got no confidence when it comes to first grade, and you're just getting like hooker 7 anyway. So it's just a bit strange.
It feels like it's been probably a revolving kind of door for me for a while, but all I cared about at that stage was I just want to play NRL.
Yeah, for sure.
This is where I want to be. So whatever that looks like for me right now, that's what I want to do. And yeah, anyway, I had a bit of a mixed kind of year. Started the year at hooker. Honestly, probably 5 rounds in, I ended up at 7 again, and now was playing 7 pretty consistently in cup. I was probably still training a little bit at hooker in the NRL, so it's a bit of a struggle to get my reps. But as you know, when you're not in that NRL squad, you feel wherever you need to feel, basically. So yeah, kind of come midway through that year, it felt like it was kind of going to happen, possibly. There was a couple of weeks there where I thought a real chance of getting a debut here, and it didn't come. So I probably lost a little bit of belief, I'd say. And then all of a sudden it came, and I just grabbed it with both hands.
But it came after you'd signed with the Rabbitohs. So when did the Rabbitohs deal come about, and like I guess what was the catalyst for it kind of thing? Yeah,
so kind of midway through that year, I'll start. The previous year, I'd extended a 1-year deal with Manly. I felt like I'd come back from my jaw. I was still trying to get back on my feet at the time. By that stage, I'd had a few injuries, and I wasn't probably as secure in myself as I should have been. Anyway, I took a 1-year deal, and I was like, I'm going to back myself. I feel I can crack it here at Manly, but at the same time, if it's not to be, it's not to be. I can kind of move on. And midway through the 24 season, I kind of started really ramping up discussions with Souths, which was so cool for me. Like, I knew Wayne was going there at the time, and for him to show interest and them to be keen on me, which is probably, and telling me all the things that I probably wasn't getting from Manly at the time. They were pretty secure in where they saw me and what they wanted from me, and I was probably just getting a little bit of mixed messages at the time from Manly. So I felt really confident in taking on that challenge, and I felt as though that would kind of give me a real opportunity to get to where I want to get to.
What was Manly's vision for you?
They wanted me to play hooker.
Okay.
They saw that I had value in the 7, but at the time, Cherry Evans was killing it. Luke Brooks had just been signed. And both of those guys are super professional and play every game pretty much. So
but you're playing 7 mainly in cup or mixed match?
To be honest, I was playing 7 in cup. I was training hooker at grade. It was kind of, So they kind of saw my best progression long term in the NRL squad would be at hooker.
Okay.
And you know what, like, I accepted that from them, and at the same time I knew I wanted to play 7, which is what Souths were basically coming to me and saying, like, this is what we see you as, this is what we see your value as. Again, probably what I wasn't getting from Manly at the time. So that just became like a super attractive kind of deal, and like having Wayne going there as well it genuinely was a massive impact on my decision to go there. I felt as though I'd probably not that I was past the opportunity to play first grade at Manly, but I felt as though the opportunity to kind of test myself somewhere else would be better for me long term. Which is how that came about.
And so, I remember this, clear as day. And it's no knock on Tommy Talau, because he's a great player, legend of a bloke. But he got named at 6, and Brooksy got named at 7, and just us as analysts were like, and we looked at your stats and reserve grade, you were going really well. How'd you feel about that?
Look, to be honest, I was extremely frustrated. I'd been playing really well up until that point, playing 7. And I kind of knew Ches was going on Origin duty. And it was spoken about. There were conversations that were like, we want to make sure you're ready to go kind of for this period of time. And there was just some weird things that were going on. I was kind of in and out of training reps. And as you know, if you're preparing to play, especially for a debut and especially as a halfback, you probably want to be getting as many reps as you possibly can. So I didn't feel as though something just felt a little bit off. I think I was named in the reserves at the time and no conversations were really had about debuting. So I wasn't too confident. And all of a sudden, like the team was actually announced and I was left out. And I talk about kind of that time where I was like, maybe I felt that opportunity had passed me by that point. That's kind of where I felt that. And at the time, that's when my conversations with Souths were kind of really ramping up. I hadn't signed with them by that point.
Oh, really? Wow.
So I think a lot of people said that was the reason I didn't play. Because I'd already signed. But no, that wasn't true. So at that stage, I was preparing mentally and physically that I was going to play, and I felt pretty disappointed that it didn't come about. But at the same time, like that was the decision, and all I could do was just play cup that week and played well. Still think anything could happen at the back end of this year. So I just need to keep thinking like it might come, whether or not I'm at Manly next year or not. That doesn't matter. I'm still here and I'm still part of this squad. So
when did you actually sign for South after that game?
Yeah,
you didn't get named.
Yeah, I think I can't remember exact weeks or dates or anything like that, but I didn't play that game against Souths, and then I think it might have been 2 weeks later I did actually debut, and I signed between that, so in that period there. So after I'd signed with Souths is when I actually got the call to debut, which was pretty special. It's like after everything that happened, I'd spent a lot of time at Manly by that point. I'd gone through all the junior reps. My family were big fans, like all my younger brothers loved the club and everything like that. So it was still like such a goal of mine to play at that club, and to say that I've done it, I feel so proud to have done that. And that's something I'll remember forever.
Walk us through the debut. How did you find out about it? What was it feeling like?
Yeah, it was. I remember I got a call from Siebes kind of the morning after I played cup the previous week, and I don't know, every club's different, but sometimes when you think you're kind of close to playing NRL, they might pull you from cup. So I played, and so I just wasn't thinking that was on the cards. Anyway, I played well in that cup game and got the call the next day, and was told I was going to be playing in the 7 that week. I was told to kind of keep it under wraps because we wanted to, I guess you want to play a bit of mind games, stuff like that, but I knew I was playing, which was cool. To tell my parents that was pretty special, especially Dad. Like you said, kind of third generation, and it's something he's probably been riding the roller coaster just as much as me in a lot of those respects. So to tell him and my mum as well was just unreal. But yeah, we were playing at Brookie on a Sunday afternoon. The forecast was clear skies. It was old boys day at Brookie, so a bunch of the Seagulls legends were there. And yeah, we played Newcastle. I just remember the week went really well. We trained, like just everything was going so smoothly. And come to game day, like started the game really well. I just remember thinking like, regardless of whether we had the footy or not, I can be aggressive in defence. So that's just what I had in my, like the first tackle, I just wanted to be aggressive. And like I was like third man in a tackle. I just remember adding my weight and I was like so out of breath just because of like the anticipation of getting my first involvement. But yeah, it was like it's a dream come true really. I remember we like kind of going set for set at the start, and then we started getting the ascendancy a little bit. And our first goal ball set, we just ran a bit of shape and Turbo threw a great pass out the back, and I just found myself in support. And yeah, whenever for a try and under 10 minutes into my debut, it was just unreal.
What's that feeling like looking up, you're seeing?
Yeah, no, it was special. It was really special. At the time, I wasn't sure if they were going to allow the try or not because the pass was questionable, I think. But I just remember the roar of the crowd was so loud, I couldn't hear any of the referees. So I was just celebrating. I was like, surely they won't take it off me. But no, it was just euphoric, really. It was it's a cool feeling. And then kind of from there, we held control of the game, basically the whole game. Yeah, it was really cool. I had a lot of friends there, a lot of family, and they all had a great time. Honestly, such a special day. So cool.
Going forward now with South, like what's the real focus for you and the team, do you think, going forward?
Yeah, well, I think I've mentioned it a few times. It's probably consistency. In so many respects, I think like consistency of getting the same team, the same combinations on the field each week is is definitely something we're going to look to build. And even myself, building that consistency in my game. I felt like I probably started the year really well in coming back from injury and blending back into a team that probably wasn't where we were at the start of the year is probably something I didn't adapt to as well as I should have.
Yep.
So making sure I'm being consistent regardless of any other circumstances is something I'm looking to build. And it's a whirlwind playing NRL, but having done it now for this season, it's definitely something I can see myself kind of growing into and just really kind of stamping myself in the team and building like what I know I can do into that, not just kind of servicing everyone else. Want to make sure I'm adding what I can add, because at the end of the day, that's better for the team.
Yep. Mate, ask all the boys this. Favourite rapper of all time?
Favorite rapper? That's actually not a hard question. It's easily Drake for me. It's probably a bit boring,
Drake,
but
Drizzy.
Big Drake guy.
Are you into the Kendrick and Drake situation or not really?
Oh, let's be honest, I got no idea what's going on.
Okay, just his music.
Yeah, just the music.
Okay. Favorite movie of all time?
See, I love movies. Like my grandparents always used to take me when I was young. That was like our thing. So I've always loved movies. This is a really difficult question. But there's one I used to watch with my dad. There's like an NFL movie. I think it's called When the Game Stands Tall. I don't know why. It's pretty. I don't think it's a big movie, but I'll always remember that.
Yeah,
And
okay.
I just love that movie.
Yeah, okay. When the game stands tall?
Yeah.
Okay. Mate, thanks so much for coming on, bro. I really appreciate it. And I just can't wait to see you guys full strength next year.
Yeah.
You know, just getting through the year. Obviously, there's going to be injuries, but like a reasonable amount.
100%. No, it's my pleasure. Thank you for having me.